Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Alberto Antuña, Spanish basketball coach. Keep listening and watching Ball Chat with Kenny. Kenny Bamidele on Impact TV and Impact Business Radio.
All right, so this is another edition of Ball Chat with Kenny on Impact Television. And of course, today on the program, I'm going to be having, someone you can see right on your screen. He's a popular basketball coach across the world. He's had his stint in Africa. And of course, when it comes to European basketball, he's also well known. Talk about Alberto Antuña. Yes, he's my guest today. Alberto Antuña, good day and welcome to Ball Chat with Kenny.
Hello, how you doing? It's really nice to be here with you today.
Yeah, thank you very much for, jumping on this interview. It's a pleasure having you on the program.
Yeah, of course. It's a pleasure. We've been in touch the last month, so finally we can make it. We can be connected, and it's really nice to be here with you.
Can you just share your coaching experience in European and African teams? Just a quick one. Your coaching experience when it comes to European teams, Montenegro, and women's basketball team, Senegal, Uganda. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, I started coaching really early, probably with 24, something like this. I was a former player. I got an important injury, so then I decided to start coaching. The last 8 years I've been coaching in Europe in clubs, only men basketball, and also women national teams. As you say, Montenegro, and then Uganda, and finally Senegal in the last qualification of Olympics.
Yeah. About your African experience, one of the things that some of these foreign coaches, some of the challenges they face is trying to adapt to the African style, because basketball in Europe is way different from basketball in Africa. But how were you able to adapt to the African style of basketball, and how did you put that into the players right here in Africa?
Well, it's not easy, no? I remember my first experience was with Uganda for AfroBasket qualification. I didn't really have time to prepare, maybe a week before the tournament. So maybe the first game it was a big problem to me. I wanted to do many things. I had many things in head, but at the end probably I didn't adapt well this balance about European basketball, African basketball, the physicality that you can find in Africa, and sometimes the misunderstanding in some tactical stuff. So, well, I had to adapt as soon as possible. So probably the first game I remember with Kenya, I didn't. But, well, to the second game against Egypt, I think we've been able to adapt and probably make easier things more clear for the players, but at the same time try to get advantage of the physical talent, that we can find in Africa, but with a little bit of order, like not just this chaos that sometimes you find. If you are able to put some rules to make understand the player that playing some scenarios till the end, it will be worth it, for the result.
I totally understand that. Now, looking at, we just talked about how you were able to get used to African style of basketball. Now let's talk about your success story. What were the positives you picked from your stint coaching Uganda and of course Senegal? What were the positives picked from your stint with these national teams?
Well, first of all, obviously, be able to represent a country is something huge, because you don't really feel the big impact that sometimes have till you are there, and especially when you live the experience at home. My first experience with Uganda, it was in Uganda, and I didn't really realize till I was there in the arena full of people, how African people really live the basketball. It was crazy. But my first experience was amazing. I'm really grateful for Uganda Federation. They gave me the opportunity. I think we achieved the AfroBasket after 9 years or 10 years. So it was something huge. And then from nowhere, we were the underdogs in the last AfroBasket. We make the quarterfinals. We beat Senegal. We finished 7th. That for Uganda is, the best results ever. And thanks to this work with Uganda, obviously the opportunity with Senegal appeared. And about Senegal, well, it's been short, but I mean, also really grateful. I mean, just represent something as Senegal in a huge tournament as Olympic qualification against Nigeria, Belgium, USA. So it's not easy, like 3 practice with a new group of girls, with a new staff. And I think we did a good job. No, we've been really close to beat Nigeria after 9, 10 or 12 years, because Nigeria, I mean, they are not losing against African teams since 2015, 2016. So it was a really tough game. And obviously, like, we compete well with Belgium, and well, USA is kind of experience, to play against a dream team. So really grateful about my experience with both of them, Uganda and Senegal.
Oh, that's really good. Now, you mentioned Nigeria, and I want to ask you a little bit of Nigerian question right now. Playing against Nigeria, how does it feel? You just mentioned that, you took Senegal to face Nigeria in the Olympic qualifiers earlier this year. How tough was it? And what can you say as to Nigeria's tactical approach to that game that made it really difficult for your Senegalese team to beat Nigeria at that time?
Well, I mean, first point probably, like, Nigeria, they were 11 players from same Afrobasket, same coaching staff. I mean, they were a team already, and this is the first point. They knew each other, they knew the style. So it was tough. Second point, Senegal was a new head coach, new staff. We tried to bring 2-3 new players. And there is this mental side that, I mean, no one beat Nigeria in the last 10 years in Africa. I felt we almost had the game. I think we controlled the game by 32 minutes. We entered in a tie game for the last 2 minutes. But, I mean, they had more experience. They played better. Probably mentally, they knew how to win the game. But, I mean, now you see Nigeria is a huge team. I mean, they play high level. They beat Canada. They beat Australia. They play quarterfinals. Probably if they didn't have play against USA, I was thinking that they would be playing in semifinals. So probably after Olympics, you realize that the work in the Olympics qualification, it was even better, even more important. How tight was the game and how good we compete against them.
Okay, perfect. Now, who is your favorite the Tigresses player?
I mean, my favorite probably is Emil Congo, but at the same time, is the one I hate the most, because he's the one that killed the game. But now I have a good relationship with her. She's super good human and an amazing player. I mean, in my opinion, is my favorite player. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's very good. Now let's talk about basketball in Africa. There is no doubt that in the next couple of years, basketball will be a major sport, in Africa. I mean, it's heading to that part right now. But what can you say as regards basketball in Africa? How can basketball grow in Africa? Because we know countries like Rwanda, they are doing so well when it comes to, the growth of basketball. I mentioned a couple of other countries like that. How do you think other countries can grow basketball, on the continent?
Investing. At the end, it's like you need to invest. Obviously, now we have, as you say, Rwanda. Now I was watching like Rwanda. Now they're playing. So how Rwanda grew up the last 2 years is amazing, especially in the women basketball. In the men's side, you see South Sudan, like how in 3, 4, 5 years they became one team that can compete in the highest level in international basketball. So first of all, like, you need someone to invest, or an individual guy, or the government, or some sponsor. I don't know who, but you need to invest. You need to invest to build a program, to have the facilities to work on it, to check in on players, to find new players. You need to invest. And probably the difference sometimes between Europe and Africa, and now I think some federation, they are doing really well, is about investing in the program, but like having patience. Because sometimes people just want results. It's like, if you don't perform this tournament, if you don't win, nah, next, or it's not enough. Let's go. No, I mean, you need to invest, and you don't win from one day to another. No, usually you need to build a style, to make understand the player, how do you want to play, or what is the philosophy as a coach or as a federation you want to have. And then usually after 2, 3, 4 years, you have results. No, it's something I mean, the best example, in my opinion, now is South Sudan, no, in the men basketball. But I mean, in the women's side, I think next year is going to be wild. I mean, with Nigeria, with Senegal, now Rwanda, Mozambique, Egypt, Cameroon, like there are 6, 7, 8 national teams that they have chance to win, no? And this is good because when you really have several teams that believe that can win, everything grow up, no? Because like everyone want to win. Obviously, example as Nigeria now in the Olympics and South Sudan, I think is gonna make the African basketball invest more and try to be closer to them.
All right, investing in African basketball is the way forward for countries who are looking for ways to grow basketball. Mentioning South Sudan as a case study because they invested in basketball and look at the result it is yielding for them right now. That's a very good one. Thank you very much for that one, Alberto Antuña. All right there. Now, let's talk about, I want to ask you this question. What are the qualities you look forward to seeing in a player? Okay, you see this player, you see certain qualities and you like the player. What are those qualities you love to see in a player?
Well, obviously when someone have physicality, no, is easier, no? Especially now in the basketball we have, no, like a lot of possession that defensively people like to switch and like try to do different stuff defensively. So when someone is physical, you can be more aggressive and you can adapt different defenses, no? But well, I mean, I like IQ players, no? I like players that understand the game, that you can communicate with them, that you can develop as a coach, and also you can develop them as a player, no? Because if someone have the IQ, you can get good things as a team, even if you are talking now about the individual. But yeah, I mean, like passion, physicality, good IQ. There are some qualities that obviously you need to have in one team if you want to be successful, for sure.
All right, now looking at the next question I have right here, let's talk about the initiative or programs you think can be introduced to actually support African basketball development. What are those programs, maybe grassroots programs that you think can be introduced in order to support, the development of basketball in Africa?
Well, for example, I think something that Mali, in my opinion, is doing really well, or even Egypt, is like create a program from the youth teams. It's like you see every year in the World Cups, under 17, under 19, always Mali and always Egypt are the two teams representing Africa. This is because they are doing something good. This is because they are investing in facilities, they are investing in the local competition, they are investing in improve the player from 14, 15, 16 years old. And this is really important because sometimes a national team have a good generation, and obviously you can compete in the high level for 5, 6, 7 years. But if you are not taking care of what is coming behind, the future is not good. So in my opinion, invest in the youth program is something interesting. Try to have like an identity as a federation. Try to build a program that the under 17, the under 19, they are going to play in the same way. Even if you don't have the same players, you can recognize, okay, I know Egypt is playing in this way. I know Mali is playing in this way. I know, so this is important. And obviously, I think it's important to check in the players, like try to find new players. Try to, okay, where can I find, for example, like Nigerian players in USA, in Europe, like have someone in the program, in the federation, through the technical director that can work during the year trying to find this player. Hey, I know there are 7 players in the French league that they have Nigerian passport or heritage or whatever, and the same in American college. So if you are doing this work over 1, 2, 3 years, you can build a solid program. You can build a solid roster. Maybe not to be success in the next AfroBasket, but just maybe in 2, 3. You know, I think something that Rwanda is doing really good. No, they went to USA. They prepare kind of workouts with people that have this heritage from Rwanda, and now they have 2, 3 new players in the roster in this World Cup qualification. So this is the kind of investment you need to do as a federation, and it's not only the economical side; it's also about the spend time, like looking for players and everything.
Oh, that's a very good one right there. So now let's take a look at let me say African teams and European teams. You get having coached a European country, you were with Montenegro, of course, you were with Uganda and Senegal. What do you think makes African teams special, and what do you think make the European team also special?
Well, probably as we said before, no, like European teams, tactically they are better, but I think they are better also because like the players during the year they are competing in Europe, no, and they probably start working in this tactical stuff from really early when they were 14, 16, 18, and obviously like this is a process. Sometimes African players, they don't have the opportunity to go to Europe when they are 14 years old, or they do it late, or they just go to college when they are 18. And these 3, 4, 5 years, it affects a lot, no? I mean, like American basketball is a high-level basketball, but it's not FIBA basketball. It's not European basketball. And in the same way, you need to adapt, no? So probably the best in the European basketball is the tactical side, the IQ that many players have. And obviously in Africa, it's like the physicality. It's like the most similar physicals to NBA are in Europe. That's why when you find teams that can balance this physicality and talent and tactical side, they can compete against everyone. No, like South Sudan compete in a really high level in the last Olympics. No, it's like obviously because they've been working good the last year, but his coach really adapt well to the FIBA basketball. The players also they've been competing in high level. It's important that the players in a national team they compete in the highest level possible during the season. If not, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. Obviously, as much as one player can compete in FIBA competition, it will be easier, no, to performance in a World Cup or in Olympics because it's different basketball, the American basketball compared with FIBA. So yeah, probably the biggest difference is like tactical and physicality. So that's why if you're able to put together both of them and try to give a little bit of freedom, but with some rules, when I mean, you already see that African teams can compete in the best way.
All right, now before we actually end this chat, one more question, and that has to do with what are your advice for young coaches in Africa? What would you tell them to do? What would you tell them not to do now that they are starting their coaching career?
Well, not to do, I'm not gonna say anything. But what to do? I mean, they need to invest in themselves. And you can invest in many different ways, no? Maybe you cannot pay one trip to Europe and be in Serbia or in Spain or in Italy for 2 months, but you can watch many stuff online, clinics, videos. You can connect now, thanks to internet, you can really connect with everyone in the world. No, I mean, I connect with many people through LinkedIn, coaches from everywhere in the world, just to have a chat. You know, like we talk about basketball. I've been talking the whole summer, for example, just to give you an example, like with the head coach of the women's national team, under 17 of Australia, and we connect through Twitter, you know, and now we are friends. He watched my games, I watch his games, you know, it's like, but we are connected, and at the end, you get different feedbacks. You see like how coaches from another country see something that maybe you didn't think
Mhm.
about it. So they need to invest in that way. It's not about putting money to travel. No, it's about like, well, you need to use your time watching basketball, connecting with people, talking with another coaches, and ask. You need to ask.
Gotcha.
If you never ask, you cannot really open your mind, no, to another things.